Welcome to the All-Star Math Video Tutor. This is Mrs. Dorless, and the topic of this lesson is subtracting fractions. Let's take a look at our steps that we need to do this. Our first step is it's very similar to adding, where we need to get a common denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a fraction of 1 to change the denominators, or in some cases when we need to borrow from the whole number, we're going to use that fraction of 1 again. And as a review, remember, a fraction of 1 is any number over itself, such as these. Okay? Next thing we're going to do after we have a common denominator is to subtract the numerators, and at the very end we're going to simplify as much as we can. So now let's take a look at some problems that we can apply this to. Here we have 7/10 minus 3/10. In this particular problem, we're fortunate in that we have the same denominator. So we're just going to bring the denominator down, and we're going to subtract the numerators. 7 minus 3 is 4. Now, because of the 4/10 and them both being even, we're going to divide by a fraction of 1. In this case, it's going to be 2 over 2, so that we can fully simplify our answer. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now this is fully simplified in the answer to this particular problem. In this problem here, 12/20 subtract 1/4, we need to find a least common denominator. In this case, because of 4 and 20, 20 would be our least common denominator. So all we have to do is change this 4 to accommodate that. So the fraction of 1 that we are going to use is going to be 5 over 5. So 1 times 5 is going to be 5. So now I can go ahead and do my subtractions with the denominator of 20. 12 take away 5 is 7. And since this is in its fully reduced form, we are finished with this problem. Here in this problem, we have 9/8 minus 5/6. We need to find a least common denominator. Well, we can multiply 8 times 6 and get 48, but that's not the lowest number. The lowest number here would be 24. So what we want to do is end up with fractions that would have 24 as their denominator. That would be the common denominator that we're going to use. Let's multiply it by a fraction of 1 here. 8 times what gives me 24? It's 3. So that's going to be my fraction of 1 there. And here, 6 times 4 will give me 24. So 4 over 4 will be my fraction of 1 there. So now let's go ahead and multiply those numerators. 9 times 3 is 27. 5 times 4 is 20. So now that we have common denominators, I bring my common denominator down, and now I just subtract my numerators. 27 minus 20 is 7. And this is the answer in its fully reduced form. Let's take a look at one more problem, this time with mixed numbers. We have 3 and 7/9 take away 1 and 17/18. So we need a least common denominator, and our least common denominator is going to be 18. So we don't need to change this one, we're only going to change this one. So we need a fraction of 1 to get a denominator of 18. So our fraction of 1 is going to be 2 over 2. 7 times 2 is 14. So now I have 14/18 take away 17/18. Well, I can't do that, so I'm going to have to borrow. So I'm going to borrow from the whole number. So borrowing from 3 will make that 2. And then I'm going to add a whole number over here. So I'm going to add 18 over 18. When I add 18 over 18, this will change this now to have 18 in the denominator, and in the numerator I'm going to have 32. So now I could go ahead and subtract 32 take away 17. When I do that, I get 15 in my numerator. My denominator stays the same. I go back to the whole numbers, 2 minus 1, which will give me 1. Now taking a look at this, we can see that this needs to be simplified a little bit more. The common factor that goes into both 15 and 18 is 3. So let's reduce by that. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 18 divided by 3 is 6, and the whole number comes with us. So this is our final answer for this problem, 1 and 5/6. That is the end of this All-Star Math video lesson.